Does anyone here like chocolate? Do you have your favorite chocolate bar? My name's Dina, and my favorite chocolate bar is a Mars bar. I'm here to tell you how a chocolate bar can be the biggest sign of love that you can give someone. For the past 18 years, I have been an Aboriginal support worker helping Indigenous women on the Vancouver downtown east side and Surrey. My job is to support women who struggle with addiction, are at risk of homelessness, or have experienced violence. I started this work because for 20 years of my life, I lived in my addiction. I lived on the downtown east side. It was my home, and the people who lived there were my family. The journey that brought me to the downtown east side started when I was 15, living in Edmonton with my dad. He was rarely home, and I fell in with the wrong crowd. I eventually met the man who would be the father of my first child. He turned me to prostitution at the age of 16. At the age of 16, I became pregnant with my first child. And although I wanted to go home to my mother, he wouldn't let me. My second and third child were born addicted. My baby girl was born on the living room floor at home. I had her on my chest. I wiped her mouth, and she started crying. I was grateful that she was alive. Boom, the door opened. The ambulance were there. My fourth child was born on the Gittimax Band Reserve, where my mother is from. After having my children, my three were apprehended and made wards of the government until they were 18. My fourth was raised by my mother. I moved to the downtown east side at the age of 28, where I lived for 17 years. I think people in Vancouver and surrounding areas have a perception of the downtown east side and those who live there. Words that might come out are dangerous, scary, drug addicts, violence. But when I moved there, it was like that. It wasn't like that. Even though most of us were in addiction, we looked out for each other. We were a community. We were a family. There was so much love and care. Everybody looked out for each other. My brother always said kids on the block. When there were kids on the block, everybody put everything away. Of the many people in the community who I consider brothers and sisters, there were a few who always were there for me, who were always there to offer support when I was ready for it. Me and my best friend Gertrude never left each other's sight and never left each other's sides on the street. My ex-husband, who I met on the downtown east side, at the time, he was a drug addict. He was my little Al Pacino. But when one of his friends passed away of overdose, he decided to change his life and he went into rehab. His love for me was so strong that we stood by each other through addiction, through our recovery, wanted us to be sober together. When I was ready, he took me to my first AA meeting and introduced me to a woman who would become my sponsor. Brandy stood by me as I struggled to become sober, and for the past 20 years, she has been my best friend. Even now, she is here for me when I need her. While I lived on the downtown east side, I also met my brother JJ. He used to look after the working girls, and I saw him one day on the street. And when I saw him, I said, "Hey, your hands look just like my dad." And he's like, "Oh yeah, Moments later, his girlfriend, and I didn't know how he looked, but I knew his name was Johnny Watts, but I didn't know how he looked. And then his girlfriend came around the corner and she said, "Johnny Watts, get the hell over here." And I looked at him and I'm like, "You're my brother." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm everybody's brother." I'm like, "You're my real brother. I've been looking for you for years." Oh my goodness. And the last of the most important person who was always there for me in the years of my addiction is my mother. My mom raised my youngest daughter. She kept her door open for me. So I knew I could always come home whenever I can always come home. Whenever I did, she wanted me to know that when I'm ready, that she would be there for me. And one day, when I was deep in my addiction and I weighed about 95 pounds, my sister Lorna bought me a Greyhound ticket and I went home to the Ginemax Band Reserve. My mother took me in, clothed me, took care of me as I was ill, and supported me as I got sober. Each of these people were there for me when I needed them, when I was ready to fight my addiction. Now I bet you're wondering, Dina, what does this have to do with a chocolate bar? Well, don't worry, I'm gonna tell you. I have been sober for 20 years now, and for 19, I have been doing what I call a gratitude walk with Brandy. During these walks, we walk on the streets of the downtown east side from Pigeon Park to Oppenheimer to connect with our brothers and sisters in the community. We walk, we talk to people, and if they come up to us and ask us for support, we give it to them. Sometimes we have barbecues in Pigeon Park. Sometimes we hand out cigarettes on the streets and just chat. One time I was eating a chocolate bar, and one of my brothers on the street said, "Man, that looks good. I haven't had a chocolate bar in ages." So I gave him my chocolate bar because I could always go get another one. Whatever the form of gratitude walk takes, what I want when I do them is to make my brothers and sisters in the community feel seen and feel loved. Because when someone is in addiction, I know they feel terrible about themselves. I want them to know there is someone out there who sees them and is willing to give them the love they deserve. Because, like my ex husband, Brandy, my brother, Lorna, and my mother did for me. Now, I'm not asking you to go out tomorrow and have a barbecue at Pigeon Park, but I do want you to consider what you do when you see someone on the street. Can you picture it? Do you smile at them when you walk by, or do you keep your head down, walking as fast as possible, as if the person is invisible? Would you give them a chocolate bar if you had one? You cannot force someone to end addiction. I know from experience that tough love doesn't work. But if you are patient and you are there for the people in your life who are struggling, they may come to you one day ready to end their addiction. And if there is no one in your life struggling with addiction, maybe you can consider giving a chocolate bar to a stranger. You might not be able to solve their problems or save them from addiction, but if you are able to share a chocolate bar with them, you can make them feel seen and loved. That chocolate bar might be the best part of your day, and it lets them know that too.